The shades likely don't go this deep. The names are only on the boxes, which you're likely going to throw away. So these are almost like Ofra dupes. Pat McGrath status amazing. Hey guys, so new Soph products. I've been following Soph Does Life for a long time now, since like 80,000 subscribers, and I am so excited for these. I have the Super Spice palette, one of the highlighters, and both of the lip liners and lip balms. I'm also testing out the powder foundation by Makeup Revolution and a concealer, so let's get into this. So if you don't know who Soph is, Soph used to be known as Soph Does Nails. She used to do a lot of nail art. She still does nail art for herself. Don't mind my hair, by the way. I tried to curl it because Soph always has her hair curled and I have shorter hair and it looks a mess. I tried. If I remember rightly, she changed it from Soph Does Nails to Soph Does Life when she hit 1 million, if I remember rightly. Her first ever collection, Soph came out with an eyeshadow palette, which I had, but I did give it away because I have so many eyeshadow palettes, I don't use enough of them, so I gave a bunch of them away. It took about 3 or 4 declutters before I eventually got rid of it, because YouTuber makeup collabs are things that I hold very dear to my heart. I love supporting my favourite YouTubers, and Soph is definitely up there as one of my favourites. Royal Beauty Christie, Kathleen Light, Soph, like they're my top 3 favourites. She also came out with a highlighter palette, which I do have. I kept this because I don't use it that often, just because I don't grab for palettes that often. I tend to grab for singles a lot more often. But it was so affordable. I think you can still get this. She also came out with stick lipsticks. I bought 2 when they were on sale, just because, not because I didn't think they were nice shades or anything, they were gorgeous, but I don't use stick lipsticks very often. Like, my stick lipsticks are just sitting in a pile in my drawer. Then she did come out with another collection. She came out with the like spiced eyeshadow palette. I don't know if she came out with anything else, but now she has come out with a brand new collection, and honestly I wanted to buy everything, but I had to sort of hold myself back and be like, what are you actually going to use? I did grab the highlighter palette in Sugar Frosting because I am very pale. I also grabbed the eyeshadow palette, like the main Super Spice, which I'll show you in a second. She does have a second palette as well, and I was very tempted to grab it, but I feel like a lot of the shades are very duplicate to these. It was a very warm kind of palette for like basically for travel. This is what the Super Spice palette looks like. How gorgeous is this? It's such a fun palette, and this shade, this is like a multi-chrome kind of shade. It's almost like pink and purple, and it's got glitter in it. It's so pretty. I said on my Instagram, I did like a very more subtle look yesterday, but I ended up putting this all over the lid. Very light halo eye. It's like a Pat McGrath shade. I'll see if I can swatch it and show you. I tried to get a video yesterday, but I don't think it did it justice. This is just like so pretty. This whole palette is worth it just for that dreamy shade. A bit like buying the Pat McGrath palettes. The only thing I will say while I was looking at this, and this isn't a gripe, it's just like my only negative of this palette, literally the only thing I can think of, is that the shades likely don't go this deep. So I'm not sure why this palette is this bulky. I like that it's made out of cardboard. I love that. I love that. I like that more companies are doing that. I like that Soph thinks about that. I'm tempted to do one eye one colour and one eye the other. I want to use a lot of the colourful shades, and I feel like I kind of want to do one eye with the yellows, orange, red, maybe top it with like the golds, and the other side I want to do like green and blue. Yeah, let's get creative. That's what Soph does, right? So I'm just going to use Cookie Dough, which is like a really neutral shade. I'm going to use that in both of my creases. This is like a light base. It goes without saying, I am not a makeup artist. I just appreciate makeup. I love makeup. I've been watching Soph since about 80,000 subscribers, and watching her into the person she's become today, I feel like an older sister almost, like seeing this person who you love and appreciate grow up into like a really lovely person, see them like succeed. It's really, really nice to see. I'm taking this like slightly out here because I want to kind of wing it. It's something I actually learnt from Soph. I think Soph learnt it from a masterclass or something. But if you want to like really lift your eye, just bring your eyeshadow like out this way more. So I'm going to take Sunshine, which is the yellow shade. That pigment. I haven't set my eyeshadow primer, so I'm hoping that it'll come out nice and pigmented. I almost want to do like a sunset. As you guys may have noticed, I like my fluid art. I have so many fluid art paintings now. I love them. I buy from two sellers on Instagram. I actually bought a fire painting. I'm going to take the orange, which is Cocktail. I'm just taking the other side of that brush. Pop this in this part of the crease. Really cool painting. I bought a couple of others as well, and the artist sent them to me. So this is the artist I buy a lot from. I don't blame her at all, by the way. This is like a huge UPS issue. And I bought, yeah, some art from her. And when she sent it, it got to the UK. So it goes from Arizona to LA to the UK. It came to the UK, cleared customs, and then went back to America. But it didn't just go back to America, it went to Detroit. And then it went from Detroit to Japan. And since the 25th of May, and it is currently the 31st of May, I haven't had any updates. And there's 3 paintings there, because there's another painting that she was gonna get rid of, and I was like, look, if you're gonna throw that away, I'll happily buy it. I'm just gonna build that yellow up a little bit more because I feel like I've blended that away a little bit. I'll happily pay for it, and she was like, no, like won't take your money for it, you can have it for free, which was really sweet of her. So I think that one might have been in that package as well, so I think there's at least 3 or 4 paintings in there. And now, I don't know where they are. Neither of us know where they are. I tried to contact them. Take the gorgeous red shade here called Extra Spice on the outer corner and kind of wing it out. I'm gonna pat to start with. I don't know where those paintings are, and I'm really concerned because it is literally like this almost. It's like this colour palette. It's a really cool painting, and I was gonna put it above my makeup. I've got a couple of like really colourful ones above my makeup to kind of like inspire me. I'm just kind of winging this out a little bit with light strokes. I'm really sad about it though, because if I don't get those paintings, like I have a whole wall here, like this wall here, you can't see it, but I have a bunch of fluid paintings on there, and the last paintings I'm due to get, I'm getting some from Gabby Art on Instagram. If I was to get these last ones from 66 Rotten, then that's my living room done. I bought one of the My Chemical Romance and SoundCloud, is it SoundCloud art? It was like a poster, but it was framed. It was really cool. I hung that in my bedroom recently. I'm just going to use some concealer. Concealer I didn't particularly like, so I'm using it up for things like this. So I'm just going to put this in the middle, pat this out with a concealer brush. And I'm going to take, which one do I want to take? They're both so pretty. Let me swatch these. That one's way more bronze, and I think it would overdo it, so I'm going to go in with the light colour. So I'm going to go in with Mirable. I'm just going to pat this. The only shades I probably wouldn't use, and this is just personal preference, is the purples, like this purple and that purple. And the pink maybe. I'm going to blend the edges with whatever's left over on the brushes. Again, I'm kind of losing this yellow. I'm going to take whatever's left on my original brush that had cookie dough on it. Just blend the edges. This is getting really high, but I have a little trick for that, which I'll do when I do my concealer. Next eye. This Frere, I don't know how, like Mon Frere, is that how you pronounce it? This is a very sheer shade compared to the others. Like that's festive. This is Frere. Maybe I'll do the green and then top it with that. So I'm going to start with the green. I'm actually going to start in the top. Wow, that was powdery. Not necessarily a bad thing because that can mean a lot of pigment. It does say pressed pigment. So I'm going to take this in my crease because what I'm thinking is doing like a halo eye. But I'm going to do like blue here, blue here. This is a really nice pigmented green shade. Wow. Like I said, I did a natural look yesterday. I used like a bunch of the browns. That's why I kind of wanted to do a more colourful look today. This is great. I haven't even started blending it. It looks awesome. Well done, Soph. These colours are really good. The only problem I'm having, like I said, is with that Frere shade. Some people are getting it to look like really wet and intense. I don't know how people are doing that. I'm going to take Blue Lagoon, which is like the matte blue. I'm going to take this on the outer and inner corners. I just kind of want to test a bunch of these shades so I can give a full review of what I think of this palette. I think this is definitely her best palette to date. Again, wing it just a little bit. Not quite as intense. Again, I need concealer. I'm going to go in with Festive. Just going to go all over. This is a really nice shade. It's got like some gold pigment in it as well. It's like a greeny gold. It's really pretty. I'm going to blend a tiny bit. I'm going to take Frere and just kind of top. I'm going to use my finger. Ooh, as a topper it's really pretty. Let's give it like a blue tinge. So I put my primer on. I used the Benefit Hydrating Primer because Soph normally loves that one. She tried this in a recent-ish video. This is the Revolution Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer. I got one in shade Porcelain. A clicky concealer. Only thing with this concealer is it doesn't have that much coverage, so I feel like you have to use a lot. Agree, this is super illuminating. I used this in the center of my forehead yesterday. People that like super dewy looking skin will love this concealer. I'm not going to use this all over my face because I want to give the powder foundation a good chance today, but I just wanted to show you how it sort of brightens under the eye. It is good under the eye, but I do feel like for an intense look like today, I kind of need to use a more full coverage. This is great for like natural days. Like, look how bright that is. It's a nice brightener. I feel like it's a good dupe probably for the Fenty eye brightness. But I'm going to use my Born This Way Multi Sculpting Concealer by Too Faced. I'm going to use loads, just going to use a little bit. But I'm going to put some over my acne. My acne is not too bad today, but I do have some like really red skin. So this is like one of Soph's favourite concealers, so it's actually one of mine as well. I only come out of more shades as well. So I finished my concealer and then I set my under eye concealer with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop setting powder in light. I never put my powder foundation underneath my eyes because I think it's too thick. This thing, I had heard about this and I was excited to try it. Super excited to try it when I saw Rose and Ben from Instagram test it out. She does talk a lot about beauty. There's another powder foundation that's super full coverage that she talked about before this one, and I really wanted to get it, but the shipping to the UK was something like $85. It was ridiculous. Just a couple of weeks ago. They contacted me when I commented on it on one of her posts and said that, you know, did you know that the international shipping is like $85? That's ridiculous for a $14 foundation. They're looking to update this, so they said they were going to announce it. So I am following them and I'm looking out for the announcement. But she did say that this is a close second. The Conceal and Define Satin Matte Powder Foundation. It comes with one of those sponges, but I don't use those sponges. So it also comes with like a little plastic stopper. I'm going to use my Almar Cosmetics. This is a bronzer brush, but it's very dense. So I use it as a powder foundation brush. This is what my shade looks like. It's very light. I'm just going to start to press this into my skin. Rose and Ben did say that this is less coverage and more of like a natural day than beauty standards, I want to call it. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Beauty cosmetics. So I'm just going to do half my face so you can kind of see the difference. I'm just kind of like, I love powder foundation because they're so convenient and you can just throw them on so quickly. So that is side with the powder foundation. And that's without, so you can see more of my redness. And so I know that my redness and acne scars and all that kind of stuff is not the same on either side, but you can see that obviously I've concealed here, but this is completely still red, whereas this one is covered. Let's see how we cover this side. I always feel weird about posting makeup videos now on my channel because I feel like a lot of people have come here now for commentary. I posted a lot of commentary recently because there's a lot I've wanted to comment on, and I sometimes fall out of love with commentary. Sometimes I fall out of love with makeup, filming makeup videos, because I feel like, does anyone really care about my reviews? What's the point? If no one cares, then, you know, no one's gonna miss them. And that's what happens when you get quite a few followers. You kind of feel like people aren't here for that, so you start to change your content for those people rather than what you originally started your channel for, which was you. Like, I started my channel because I love makeup and I love talking about makeup. And I get like a really nice comment like, thank you so much for this review, no one else has talked about this. You can see that all that redness is gone. So it does have coverage. If you're curious, I use the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting powder in light. I'm trying to use this up. As an ode to Soph, I used her favourite bronzers, or I don't know if they still are, but I used a mixture of the Revolution Pro Sculpting powder. And then I know she absolutely adores the Kiko bronzers. I bought this at Christmas when I bought a bunch of their Christmas bits and pieces. This is the Unexpected Paradise bronzer. This is what it looks like. It's one of their like marble kind of bronzers. So I mixed those two together for my bronzer. The highlighters, she came out with 3 of them. This one is the lightest shades. She did mention that these are very similar to some of the ones in here. Almost identical. I'm going to do a swatch comparison. I feel like these are more pigmented. They're definitely a different formula. This is a softer formula than these are. These are more baked. These are almost like Ofra dupes. And considering what happened with Ofra recently, we want an Ofra dupe. So I'm just taking a little bit, blending that is. And if I take like more of the more white gold one, I feel like it's even more intense. Really nice. I really like this. Again, this is like really deep, but from what I can see of the pans, I feel like the highlighters aren't going to be that deep. I could be completely wrong. They could be very deep highlighter pans and very deep eyeshadow pans. I bought the Kiko Holiday Gems Blush in Cinnamon Crush. I got one of the other ones as well, but I know Soph loved this shade. I'm kind of tempted to do the blind pick my makeup. Throw everything in like in a bag and you pick it at random, so you could end up with the bright lipstick and really random eye look and stuff. I just think it'd be funny. I like doing challenge videos, so let me know what you guys think if you'd be interested in that. So when you go overboard, just take your powder foundation brush and just kind of blend everything together. There you go, that looks less intense. But let me do my brows and then we'll finish off the eyes and I will show you the lip liners and the lip balm. So, brows are done. They're not that great, but you know. I'm going to take my concealer brush. I'm just going to lightly blend over top of my eyeshadow. It looks more blended. Like a really good trick that I learned from Rose and Ben. Like extra spice. And just... I'm going to take the orange. I'm sure this looks orange and the yellow sunshine shade, and I'm going to put that on my inner corner. Really like connect everything. I'm going to take the Lagoon shade and just like blend that on the inner and outer parts, and then I'm going to take the green as like a little bit of a base because I kind of want to do what I did on top. Put like a little bit of concealer here. Take that festive shade, like just pat that. So I've still got that green base. And lastly, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to take Frere. Again, just kind of like tap that on top. I'm actually going to use Dreamy. I want you guys to see how pretty this shade is. Put like a little bit. And then I'm going to take her highlighter to then top. That's just so we've got like that blinding point on that inner corner. Okay, so the last 2 products I want to talk about are the lip liners and lip balms. So for a long time has loved just using a lip liner and lip balm. Lip liner just I think to accentuate the shape of her lips, and then a lip balm because they're super comfy. So I tried these yesterday. I did like an ombre between the... There is a Candy Icing and Toffee Drizzle. These are the lip liners. So you can see one's a lot pinker and this one's more red toned brown. Soph did say that she's chosen more, for the deeper shades, she's chosen more red toned kind of shades because she got some feedback from the previous ones. So I'm actually going to use this shade. I'm going to use, why is the name not on the fucking lip liner? Soph, what the hell? The name of the lip colour isn't on the lip liner. It's not on the lip balm either. The names are only on the boxes which you're likely going to throw away, so, or recycle. So that's a bit odd. These are sharpenable, by the way. I saw on Twitter recently that quite a few people, like once they've just like gotten down to here, they'll throw this away. You can sharpen them, and these are really nice and creamy. But you can see that it's quite a nice nude. It's very warm. I prefer more neutral, cool tones these days, but it's true to this kind of colour. Then you've got the lip balms. So the lip balms, like, they twist up and twist down, which is nice because some of them, like, was it the Marc Jacobs ones, where you click them and then you can't get them back down. You have, which is quite pink, and then this shade, which is more brown. These are quite sheer. I think the pink one's actually more pigmented than the brown one. Actually, I might go on top a little bit. These aren't super pigmented. They're very glossy. This is a product that apparently Makeup Revolution didn't really do before. She said she started this process about a year ago, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's why, because they had to perfect their lip balm consistency before. This is the look, or looks. All in all, Soph has really knocked it out of the park. These eyeshadows are absolutely stunning. Like I said, this dreamy shade. Pat McGrath status, amazing. The highlighters, I definitely can tell as well that the formula has been improved, because the previous formula, it was more baked, whereas this one, it's more like a powder, intense highlighter. The lip liners are very nice and creamy, and the lip balms are really comfy, like really comfy. I didn't realise how much I was gonna like this shade. I thought because it looks very pink, I'm not a very pink kind of person, so I didn't think I'd grab it, which is why I picked up Toffee Drizzle. But to be honest, because these are so red toned, I don't think they go with my skin tone that great. They're not really necessarily meant for me, they are meant for more deeper skin tone people. It's just because I thought I like more brown sort of shades, so I thought I'd like these, but to be honest, I actually prefer these, which is kind of a shock. The concealer's really nice. It is really illuminating, and it does feel almost slightly greasy because of that. It's not my favourite. I hate saying this because I really like Revolution as a brand, but I don't like any of their concealers. I wasn't a fan of the original Conceal and Define, then they came out with Conceal and Define Infinite, and I've thought, right, this is the one that I'm going to like, because this one's meant to be even more full coverage and matte. Nope, didn't particularly like that. It's sitting in a drawer, not being used. This one is meant to be like full coverage but natural at the same time. It's nice and brightening. If you want to do like a quick, super natural moment, I will grab for this. I don't think it's bad. I don't think any of their concealers are bad. I just have things I much prefer. Like the Lasting Perfection Collection Concealer is Holy Grail. And lastly, the powder foundation. I'm going to do a full day wear test. I will insert a clip to show you how it fared. So, update, it is now almost 8:30. So I think I've had this on for about 8.5 hours. Ignore my nose area because I've been blowing my nose a bunch today, and then I've been wearing my glasses for a stream for the last like 3 hours. My forehead looks pretty good. This is all looking pretty good. Very similar. My chin looks still pretty good, considering I've wiped off my lipstick a couple of times as well because I've eaten. I think it looks good. It's definitely like more of a medium coverage powder foundation. It's not as full coverage as I'm used to. I still think my Milani one is a little bit better, just because it gives me a bit more full coverage. But the Beauty Creations, I finally figured out the name. Very intrigued to see what that's like once they adjust their shipping prices. Back to when I looked halfway decent for my outro. I'm not sure if it beats my Holy Grail, which is the Milani. It doesn't have as many shades. I don't think this is bad. Super affordable. I think it's like £8. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, and if you didn't, you're welcome to give it a dislike. I hope you liked the looks I created. I tried, but I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye!